Activity 3, tax savings. Skepticism challenge. GSA is a listed pharmaceutical company that operates different countries but has its headquarters in a European country. You work as consultant for a small professional uh, firm which have been asked to act as advisors to GSA. So you are hired as the consultant of GSA. GSA is a listed pharmaceutical company and having its operation in the different countries. On the other hand, you are a small professional firm who can be influenced by the large client easily. The finance director of GSA studied with the engagement partner, so is happy to give him the work, especially as he believed that firm's experience in the tax advice can help identify any further tax and future tax loopholes. So they are looking for the future tax loopholes. The engagement is very happy, a very high profile for your firm. So as I told you that being a small professional firm, it is undoubtedly a success to have such a large client. So it has been offered at a discount to the firm normal fees. Although you understand that GSA board has the board has indicated that it expects fees to stay low, expects to stay fees to stay low as it wants your firm to act as both internal and external auditors in order to improve efficiencies. You are in the corridor about to attract a planning meeting between your firm and GSA. When you overhear the end of conversation between the engagement partner and the finance director meeting room, obviously if tax haven is identified are sufficiently imaginative and creative, there will be special bonus for you. So here we have some what here we have like threat of objectivity, or you can say that it is possible that a engagement partner will compromise the objectivity, but he's saying that if tax savings identified is sufficiently imaginative and creative, and on the basis of what? On the basis of loopholes in the Finance Act. Although this will need to be hushed up to satisfy those who feel we should all now be acting in the public interest. So, being an auditor or being a tax consultant or being an audit firm, it is your responsibility to perform in the best interest of the public as well. Critically evaluate what you have heard in corridor by considering the following issues. Identify the ethical threats presented in the scenario, explaining what is meant by the public interest in this case, describing the nature of conversation that you have overheard, including any possible actions that you feel you may need to take. Professional skills marks are available for demonstrating skepticism skills in challenging the views expressed in the scenario. So here we have tackling the question. You have been given plenty of scope here, so can consider the fact as presented and use your knowledge of the syllabus to structure a suitable answer. ASIFs in part A and theory in part B and C requires a bit more application, but you must be prepared for this in the real exams. How to earn exam professional skills marks. Acting with skepticism does not necessarily mean always assuming worst in the people. So you are not always considering that others are doing fraud. You are trying to make sure that you are successfully found that there was no material misstatement or there was no fraud. But given the situation as presented in the scenario, that's where you should be aiming to start. Be critical and consider what seems to be happening here and what it means for you in your role. Identify the ethical threat presented in the scenario. So in part A, first one is advocacy threat. What is this advocacy threat? Advocacy threat is the one where you are becoming an advocate of your client in front of government authorities or in front of financial institutions, acting as tax advisors at the same time being uh, independent external auditor. There is some self-review threat as well. Self-review means what? You performed an accounting job or taxation job for a client, and after that you are doing audit of your job as well. So when you are auditing your own work, this is called self-review. Second one is self-interest. Self-interest is what, where if you are earning good amount, or if you are getting the benefit of revenue or income by providing one or more than one services, this is called self-interest. So you are charging low fees, but if you are charging low fees, but you know that if you will provide satisfactory services to the client, you will be able to take the benefit of bonus. This is called the self-interest. Compromised ethics in order to retain the engagement. Next one is intimidation threat. Intimidation threat means what? It is the one where client can give you a threat that if you will not follow their instructions or their needs, they will not continue their business with you. This is intimidation. Pressure to reduce fees. Would a small firm stand up to a large multinational if they disagreed on a proposed accounting treatment or modification to the auditor's opinion? Next one is familiarity threat. Familiarity threat is the one where you have a friendship or family relationship, or you are a partner, or you are in any personal relationship with the client. The partner is a friend with the finance director, which could lead to a lack of objectivity and independence in certain judgments during the audit. And self-review, once again, being an internal auditor, being an independent auditor, it is not justified to audit your own accounting work. Internal audit services will need to be relied upon external audit opinion. So do not evaluate your own work and give assurance that you perform appropriate accounting services. So these are the threats. Next one is explain what is meant by public interest in this case. Public interest basically means what? The totality or community interest, where community has the interest that organizations within their country are following laws and regulations in their true spirit. They expect that organizations will contribute towards the strengthen of legal system rather than to uh, compromise on it. The public interest relate to public confidence in the profession, who act for the collective well-being of the community of people that they serve, including clients, lenders, government, employees, investors, the business and the financial community, and others who rely on the work of those professions. In this case, public interest is those who feel the company should be paying its fair share of taxes to support the national economy. So they expect that they are paying appropriate benefit to or appropriate taxes and contribute towards the economy. And those who feel that accountancy firms should not assist the company to the same, as it owes a duty to society as well as to its client. Any conflict of interest should be identified, such as by awareness of the various threats mentioned above, and may lead to firm either adopt certain safeguards before they can act or decline to act in certain cases. So they are saying that there must be a framework placed within the audit firm or consultancy firm where if they think that any client requirement can compromise their ethics, they should decline the assignment. But I don't know in real life how many audit firms follow this. Next one is describe the nature of conversation that you overheard, including any possible actions that you feel you may need to take. Conversation appears to have been discussing further tax avoidance and possibly even illegal tax evasion. Tax evasion is definitely illegal, and the payment of a bonus to the firm securing such saving on behalf of the company. So, when you are offering some bonus to save tax, it means you are asking for illegal tax evasion, not for the legal tax avoidance only. This sounds like a situation where bribery and corruption are being discussed. You are now placed in a different position as you need to consider your responsibilities as an employee, albeit, albeit in a retained consultant capacity, but also your responsibility as a professional account to act in the public interest. So now you have overheard this conversation, so that's why it is your responsibility to respond on it, either to follow the responsibilities of the employee and to keep the client information confidential, or to perform in the public and best interest of the public, which should be above those owed to your employer if illegal or unethical activity is being considered. To address this conflict of interest, you may wish to consult an independent partner, such as an ethics partner within the firm. However, given the size of the firm here, this may not be practical, and no such role may exist. It may be illegal if you are aware of possible criminal activity and do not disclose it. So, in the absence of any formal mechanism within the firm, you may wish to present your concerns to third party. This process is known as whistleblowing. Whistleblowing means you are becoming an evidence for in front of the government or legal authorities, but they will not disclose your name, which satisfies your duty to act in the public interest, but would probably leads to your departure. Definitely you will have to leave the firm, or firm would not like you to continue with them. Threat of such retaliation from an employer, such as legal action, disciplinary procedure, redundancy, poor employment references, can be significant, especially as your reputation is so crucial and so present difficult choice for any whistleblower. So, being an employee of a firm, are you capable to afford all this? If yes, then you should go for it. If not, then you should evaluate how to deal with this situation. So we are done with another activity.